I'd just like to start off with this quickly. I wasn't able to do that 6 months ago, right? Some of you have heard my story. I had chronic lower back pain, and this was basically caused by a lot of obstacle races and running, but I was consuming a lot of sports drinks and water, thinking I'm hydrating myself and taking supplements to keep me going. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong, because when I was introduced to Kangen water, I couldn't wake up in the morning by standing straight. I used to wake up like this, walk around the house a bit, wait until the back warmed up, and I was back in life. So what happened was, my good friend over here, Anthony, introduced me to Kangen, and I drank the water for 30 days. And the most amazing thing happened. My back, the one day I woke up, I could stand up straight, and I felt I had no lower back problems anymore. So subsequently I did some more research into this, and I found out that I was actually putting the wrong liquids into my body, and I wasn't hydrating myself. I was actually seriously dehydrated. So from drinking Kangen water, this then gave me the cellular hydration, managed to hydrate my spine and the gel, which then allowed my nerves to not be trapped anymore. So this has given me back life. I've started exercising again, and I'm just going to be entering, I think it is September, 100k South Coast Challenge.
I'm Deborah Hayes. I live in Brighton. I went to a demonstration in Brighton about 18 months ago, and I walked out. I went to walk out actually, and I was drawn back in by somebody who's in the business, and they said, "Where are you going? You know, you're missing out on something really good here." I'm just like, that's not my thing. Anyway, they convinced me, which I'm really grateful for. Not on the business side, but more on the health side at the moment. And being here today, it's really kicking me into seeing what the business can do, and which would be amazing if I just get 6A. Yeah. Anyway, so I went home. I bought the machine and plugged it in. I had been in chronic pain for months and months and months in my body. I was getting up in the mornings. When I was getting up, a bit like John, it was just like, I can't even get out of bed. This is horrendous. Started drinking the water, and I kid you not, 24 hours, I was jumping out of bed. It was amazing. I was like, this is it. Yes, it's fantastic. Now, I'm a health practitioner, and I help people in their own health. But finding this machine finding me, has just been an absolute miracle for my own health. So thank you so much, and it's just amazing. Thank you.
Been drinking the water since January, I think the second week in January, and also giving it to my mother every day, who maybe doesn't live the healthiest lifestyle or diet or anything, and she should have suffered with anxiety. Sometimes, you know, getting the shakes when she leaves the house and things like that, and her anxiety is completely gone. So that's one thing. With myself, I've suffered, you know, on and off with childhood asthma all my life at different times, and each week it's like less than about 10%. So this last week I haven't needed my inhaler once, which you know, sometimes we don't notice the differences that are happening. And I was just thinking, you know, what changes have happened? I thought, well, actually, yes, my inhaler's lessened and lessened and lessened over those weeks, and this week I haven't taken it once. So yeah, that's quite a change over 2 months of drinking the water.
My name is Monica, and I am a clinical naturopath for over 10 years. I have been doing research on how to improve my prescriptions to give the best to my patients. And because I care about my family, especially my parents, I made decisions to get them healthy, because my mom had very high blood pressure, and I was prescribing her herbal medicines, the best practitioner only medicines, I have to say, and nothing was helping. She had very good diet, vegetarian diet, and she had high blood pressure, nothing helped. Also, she was diagnosed with high cholesterol, and a friend of mine introduced me to Kangen water. I went to one of the presentations, and I realized after I saw the presentations with the tomatoes that actually this is the thing, that this is the only thing I didn't actually know about this healing water. I decided to buy the device for my parents, because I love my parents and I want my mom to be healthy. After a couple of months, my mom drinking the water, the high blood pressure normalized. It has to do with kidneys, by the way. So it normalized, and my mom is healthy since then, including cholesterol. My mom is going to see a doctor on a regular basis. We have blood tests to actually prove that she has improved very, very well. So my mom is 70 years old. She is healthy now. She looks 10 years younger after a couple of months drinking the water. She is very active. She drives bicycle. My dad, also 70 years old, had very bad gout. He couldn't walk, and also injuries from sport. After a couple of months drinking the water, he could start walking, and both of them are riding bicycle at 70 years old. And regarding my own health as a clinical naturopath, I was actually so surprised because I was taking the best practitioner-only medicines, supplements, spending £200 per month on expensive supplements. Thought I'm giving to myself the best. Also vegetarian diet, and I was actually getting worse and worse, very low in energy, felt very depressed. I had lots of pains and aches all over the body, which was diagnosed as fibromyalgia, which is lymphatic system problem. I had lots of food allergies and also skin allergies as well. After a few days of drinking the water, I had much more energy. I could sleep much better, and all the pains and aches disappeared within a couple of weeks. So I'm very, very grateful for Kangen water because my family is healthy, which is my priority, my parents especially, but also my patients are healthy now as well. The ratio of my treatments have improved drastically, and I can say that virtually all my clients within 3 months get completely healthy, no matter what disease they have.
My name's Pete. My life has changed dramatically since I was introduced into this business. And I just want to be honest with you now. I joined for the business. My friend Raymond in Singapore called me and he introduced me to this, and he said, Peter, I'm not earning enough money with you, I'm going to do this water thing. So I watched Daniel DiMacali's answers for Thirsty World, and I joined the business. So I think within 2 weeks of Raymond seeing that video with Sam, I joined the business on the same video, so recommend it. At the time I joined the business, I was almost bankrupt. I lost a lot of money on property investment, a lot of money. So I lost all the property I owned. Well, I didn't own it, I was mortgaged, but all my rentals and my home and everything. And at the same time I was made redundant. So I was 63 years old and absolutely in a bit of a financial mess. And one of the outcomes of that is that I was suffering from diverticular disease. Everybody know what diverticulitis is? Yeah. That's IBS basically. And I was, it was a really embarrassing, if anybody's had it, it's a really embarrassing condition. Anybody had a colonoscopy? Go and watch Billy Connolly on YouTube and see Billy Connolly's experience on a colonoscopy. But I had one of those, thankful for Dr. Shinya. I had one of those and found out I had diverticular disease. So as I joined the business bought the machine for the business, 2 weeks after I'd got the machine, the suffering from diverticular seemed to disappear. So it did change my financial life and it's changed my health life. The other thing is, I'm a 2-time cancer sufferer. I had a melanoma, which my children discovered because it was in the back of my arm. I never saw it, and I had that removed. And I was lucky, although it was malignant, it hadn't got into my limbs. But then I had kidney cancer and lost a kidney through an operation. And the test that I had for the other kidney, which was 60 odd years old, indicated that I had chronic kidney disease. So that was a bit of a worry that I only had one kidney and that was ill. But due to the water, my other kidney is getting younger not older.
I came along to a presentation a few years ago and saw the presentation, and it was the tomatoes that did it for me, because I could not get that out of my head. Now the thing was, just gone through a divorce, and I was literally, when you say broke, I mean, you know, really, really bad, so I couldn't afford one. But anyway, I brought a friend along to one of the meetings, who I didn't know at the time, but she was quite ill, but she got it straight away. And she decided then she wants to get a machine. And I thought, okay, no way you're getting in before me. So I actually didn't pay the mortgage that month and paid the deposit on the machine. And the reason why I did that, because I was suffering from depression, and I was also diagnosed with borderline diabetes. Now, while I was having the water, I was getting better, but I didn't even know I was getting better until I didn't have the water, and I thought, oh my goodness, this thing really is working. So with that combination, I then made the decision, because I figured out that unless I get myself better, nothing else was going to improve. So best decision I have ever made. And I didn't join for the business because I didn't get it, but I've just woken up.
So essentially, the water was forced upon me by a good friend. I had no knowledge of Kangen water or alkaline water, whatever, you know. So anyhow, I had a bowel problem for 12 years. I had IBS, and that progressed to gluten allergy, which is unheard of in my family. And obviously, the response from the doctors is you can't eat wheat for life. But guess what? 3 years later, I'm eating wheat. I'm eating wheat every single day.
I've been running a translation agency, so that means I need a lot of mental and psychological and physical energy to be an entrepreneur. And this is one of the reasons why I was so happy to be introduced to this amazing brand. And the second reason why I've been drinking Kangen water is because a couple of years ago I had a horrible Harley Davidson accident. I was riding my beautiful Harley Davidson, which is an amazing feeling, yeah, and it was a horrible accident. Doctors were fighting for my life for 3 days. And thanks for my doctors, thanks for Kangen water. Have a look, I can run, I can do sports, I do my business, and this means a lot of mental and physical health. And the last but not least, it's amazing how inspiring, how well prepared, how professional and committed people I'm surrounded by. Thank you very much for Kangen and for the community, and it really, really changed my life, and because I changed my water.
Basically, can you hear me all?
Yes.
I was introduced to the water in Birmingham about 3.5 years ago. It had such a profound effect on my life that I didn't know what was going on, to be quite honest. You know, it was just, I had a heel problem called plantar fasciitis, which is you can't put any weight on your heel. My middle-aged body, my 55-year-old legs were like 85-year-old legs. They were aching, I had a knee problem. Within about 3 weeks of drinking the water, my plantar fasciitis had gone. And I'd been to the doctor for this for 2 years previously. You know, she'd given me exercises to do. Nothing was working. She said to me, look, you're either stuck with it. If the exercises don't work, you'll be stuck with it, you know. But within 3 weeks of drinking the water, the pain had gone, my knee problem had gone, my old 85-year-old legs were feeling like a teenager's legs again. I didn't have a clue. I saw them with the SD501 behind him, and I didn't have a clue what it was. I was a busy man. I've got other business interests, and I was giving him my time, but I saw the machine behind him, and I thought in my mind, he's trying to sell me a £300 water filter, you know, because I didn't know anything about it. Anyway, he sent me away with the water. He gave me, you know, the sales pitch, etc., etc. And 3 to 4 weeks after that, I was banging on his door with 10 times the amount of money, i.e. £3,000, get me one of these machines because of what it had done for my body. And to this, I mean, I've built myself up now. I've been on the 9.5. I try and get, 2 litres a day down myself. I was at the seminar last July in London. I gave a little video testimonial, but I'm actually playing tennis now, back playing tennis and in the gym and beating guys not years younger than me, but decades younger than me.
Sorry to be late. Since I bought the machine, so much has happened because I'm a person with end-stage renal failure. So both my kidneys don't work. So every 3 days of the week, I have to do dialysis. Since February, things have been changing in my blood results because I have to do monthly bloods, full bloods every month to see how the machine is clearing the toxins in my body. And since February, my blood results have never been more than perfect, less than perfect. And recently, what has happened, and Anthony, you don't know this, but what has happened is that my EGFR has changed from 4 to 16. And what that means, it changes the stage where I was diagnosed at end-stage renal failure. So now, based on my EGFR, it would seem that I'm at stage 4, which basically means that they're gonna investigate, because all the nurses were laughing and saying, "Oh my God, it's a miracle," and all of that. And I'm saying, well, it would be a miracle if I actually believe in that sort of thing, but because I don't believe it, I don't think anyone will spin a miracle to my way, you know. So that is to be confirmed. But instead of being at end stage, it would seem as though being at stage 4, which is, for me, is absolutely fantastic. I love it. And since I've got the water, it has changed my life. Normally I'd come home from dialysis and I would go straight from my bedroom to go and sleep. Now I can't sleep at all. I can't. This water has given me so much energy.
Good.
Even if I try to sleep, all I do is just twist and turn and toss all the time, and it just don't happen. And I have to find something to do. My daughter said that I have suddenly become ADHD because she always, every time she speaks to me, I'm always busy doing this. I'm always busy doing that. And normally I'm asleep. I would sleep for hours on end after my treatment. And lately that hasn't been happening. So it's really down to the water.
Wow.
And Anthony doesn't realize, but I look at Anthony as my God, because he literally, I think he saved my life by just bringing that into my space. It's unbelievable, because I think I would be in a different place right now. So I'm really enjoying the water, and it's done wonders for me. And I'm looking forward to whatever more it might throw my way. But the water is brilliant for me. Oh yes, I said to you something's happening, because prior to February, I didn't pass urine for 2 years. And that usually happens with dialysis patients, because the fluid is extracted through the machine. And you gave me, I think, 2 liters, drank some of it, and I thought, oh, this water is tasty. And then I sat in my living room watching TV, and all of a sudden I felt like I wanted to wee. And I thought, can't be, maybe it's just the sensation of wanting to do that. And then it became a bit more urgent. And I thought, oh no, if I don't go to the loo, I'm going to pee myself in the house. So I went to the toilet, and I passed about 200 mils of urine. And
wow.
I was kind of frightened, because I thought, this hasn't happened for 2 years. What on earth is happening here? So anyway, I didn't drink all the water in one go, because I'm on a fluid restriction as a dialysis patient. So I drank about half a liter more in the evening, and I realized I went to bed, and I realized that I suddenly want to go to the bathroom. And I thought, no, so I just get up and went to the bathroom. Of course, I passed a bit more. And then I thought, I rang my brother in America straight away. I said, you never guess what? Because I tell everybody I can't pass in the urine. I tell everybody who will listen to me. And I told him the whole story, and he thought, hang on a minute. Then if this does this to you, why haven't you got this machine already? I said, I haven't got the money for the machine. So he said to me, because I'd spoken to you about monthly payments, and he said, okay, if I help you with the deposit, are you okay with the monthly payments? I said yes. So he gave me the deposit, and that's how I started paying, because everybody got so excited about this machine now. So my friend in Canada, she also has a kidney problem. She's got the machine now. Everybody gets so excited about what this machine is, what this water is doing for me.